And welcome into another episode of Dan Tony Sports. My name, in case you've forgotten, is Dan Snyder, joined as of right now by good friends Tony Casper, Dan Beebe. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful.
That is good to hear. We are still waiting on Dan O'Shea to join us, but he will be at some point. So guys, our last episode was all the way back on July 22nd of 2020. A lot has happened since then, both in our personal lives and in the world of sports. So I just want to use tonight, this episode, basically to be getting reacquainted and finding out what it is that we have been up to since we last did this on July 22nd. Who would like to start?
Why don't you start?
Oh, get right into the craziness. Okay. So, in early July, my wife and I, we noticed there was a crack in the ceiling of the apartment that we were renting. We pointed it out to our landlord, and she got her handyman to come in and take a look at it. He said it should last for a while, and then he will come in and fix it. When he said it should last for a while, it was literally days before the entire ceiling in our living room fell down upon us. Not literally upon us. It was like 1 something in the morning. We were up in bed, heard this loud sound, thought, I don't know, maybe an air conditioner fell out of the window, or maybe a car had hit the side of the house or something. Yeah, we jumped out of bed and we were like, what's going on? What the hell's happening? And then we realized the ceiling must have fallen. So we went downstairs, and all over our living room floor and in the air were dust and debris and chunks of our ceiling, which was about 4 inches thick and was held together using like 4.5-inch nails. So that I think we solved the problem right there of why it fell. So we were put up in a hotel for a week while they were clearing everything out. And then we came back home for about a week. And they were doing more cleanup, repairing the roof or the ceiling. And then we noticed that other ceilings started showing the same kind of cracks, just not as bad. So we pointed them out to our landlord, and we came to a mutual determination that it's probably best that we move out. So this is like second week of August. We have the discussion. We figure it's best to move out, and so within 2 days, we began moving into my in-laws' house down in the Poughkeepsie area. So from middle of August on, I was basically homeless, living with family. Which I'm grateful that we had the ability to just pack up all of our shit, put it into a storage unit, we rented a 10 by 30 storage unit, and that son of a bitch was stuffed from front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Like, there wasn't enough room to fit me with the door closed inside of that storage unit. That's how stuffed that thing was. And I don't know if you can imagine it, but 10 by 30 is fucking huge. And it was stuffed. So before we moved out, really, we had secured another apartment. It just wouldn't be available until October 1st. So we moved to Poughkeepsie until we can move stuff in the first few days of October. So that entire time, living with the in-laws, which, you know, not having to be the main adult in charge was pretty nice. I will say, I enjoyed being taken care of as much as I could. But yeah, since October, we moved into an apartment in the old apartment complex we used to live in, and it has been it's been pretty good. We've been living here
You're
since.
not in the same apartment, are you?
No, we're in a bigger apartment. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep, we upgraded. Hell yeah. Yep. No, that would be strange if we were able to. If the apartment we were in 2 years ago was still available, I'd question what's wrong with the apartment complex since we've moved.
Yeah, that's a good point. But, I mean, would have been ironic because that's where we had started the show from.
I mean, basically we've upgraded our studios twice.
Yeah, no kidding. And then having to do Zoom because of, you know, everything else that's happening in the world.
Yeah, yep. Which, you know, it's been some real crazy stuff going on in the world of sports. We'll touch on that in a little bit, I'm sure. But, so, other than that, only a couple of other new things. I started collecting football cards again.
Oh, good. Fucking Chuckles would like to hear about that.
Yeah. I pretty excited. I don't have very much right now. I'm trying to sell off a couple of my cards so that I can, you know, keep buying more cards. People are complete and utter dicks in the 518 sports card community because you can't find cards anywhere because assholes are buying them and then selling the boxes online for like 3 or 4 times the price, which I'm sure.
Dan, you don't want those cards.
Listen, I just started. Really just started collecting.
Right now, if you're looking to spend any money and get good quality cards where you have a better chance of getting autographs and higher end cards, parallels, and everything, go to Finnegan's Sports Cards on Central. It's the only place to go.
Well, right now I don't.
Hobby and not retail. When you're dealing with Walmart and Target and all that, that's retail. They don't have the same. They don't have the same sets in them. They don't have. You can't really get autographs in them. But you know, if you go to Finnegan's and he has packs, you buy 3 or 4 packs of a box of guaranteed 3 autos or something. You have a chance to get pulling an auto.
Yeah, I mean, I am doing retail right now because I don't have all that much money, and I want to have cards to collect. I did get a pretty sweet Jeremy Chin autograph from an Absolute Blaster, so that was kind of nice. But Absolute sucks. Their cards are terrible. The Panini Absolute, awful. They're ugly. They're not good. But yeah, I mean, I've been learning a lot in these groups, and actually, Chuckles, I think you're in one of the groups that I'm in, 518 Sports Cards and Breaks or something like that.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah. Yep.
The only thing I use them for is to pluck them for buying their cards, and then I lowball them.
But yeah, I like the way the Donruss look. They're clean. I know that they're like lower end of Panini, but right now that's what I've got. So I will keep Finnegan's in mind.
Football is good because they still have licensing and stuff, but with like I can't stand Panini baseball where it just looks like everyone's wearing like plain uniforms with no logos.
Yeah, I'm not into the baseball cards. I have a few. That someone from the Sports Jungle, actually, I won a contest, and they sent me a few cards. I got an Ezekiel Elliott RPA card, which is pretty sweet, and it's been graded. It's a Beckett 8.5, so that's cool. That's like my piece de resistance or whatever they call it. But yeah, I'm enjoying the hobby so far when I can actually get cards. I'm trying to get some Mosaic because those are fucking sweet looking.
They are sweet looking.
But all I can find, if I can find anything, is, which has been one time, was Absolute, and they're, like I said, they're shit.
Yeah, I literally walk into Walmart and Target, and if I walk by and there's anything, that's great. If not, I'm not going after their hunts. These people are freaking ridiculous for this retail. It's like crack to me.
Mm-hmm.
They know the distributor's name, and they're like, Bob's at Target, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right? Yeah. No, there's the one kid in the group. Not going to name names. I'm sure he's not listening. But
I don't know any of them. I literally just buy cards, so I'm not taking any offense to anything.
He literally buys, has people drive around to all the stores with him and buy as many boxes and shit as they can, and calls it his quote-unquote full-time job.
Well, that, to be honest with you, that's fucking sad. I feel bad for him. He's not making a lot an hour. Yeah.
No, he's, people are desperate right now, so he just sold the Absolute box that I got at Target was $40. He just sold one for like $110. The same goddamn box from Target.
Who's fucking buying this?
People are desperate.
Step up in sneakers.
Yep.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yep. But other than that,
in sneakers.
Other than that, it's been a fun little hobby. I'm enjoying it, and
it can be a fun little hobby. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to talk sports tonight, or are we going to talk cards?
We're just reintroducing ourselves. Last thing I've got to say about myself, I did also start writing a wrestling blog, so that's fun.
Okay.
It's called Doing the Job. You can find it on Blogger.
Gotcha. Good for you.
All right, so that's going to be it for me. Who's next?
There's not much that happened in my life, man. I've just been working, switched jobs, watching sports, and constantly being disappointed by what's happening in COVID. So, I mean, not a lot.
Oh, yeah. I see you also got into hiking, though.
No, I started getting out there a little bit more, courtesy of the girlfriend. She's definitely pushed that a little bit more.
Oh.
Walking a lot more than I used to, other than work.
All right. Well, Dan Beebe, what is new with you since July 22nd?
Oh, man. Wonder how the hell football's been made to go off their games. Collecting cards, football cards, and, we're out this COVID vaccine, I guess.
Yeah, COVID vaccine. That's coming soon. And hopefully that means we'll be back to stadiums full of fans. Speaking of stadiums, what gets played in stadiums? Sports. So, since we last spoke, the NBA season did its bubble. Playoffs were done. Championship won. I just want to ask you guys if you feel the same way I did, that you will very rarely ever see a basketball series as good as that Jazz Nuggets was. That was insane. All 7 games were crazy.
That was something that was entertaining to follow, just for the fact that it was so back and forth.
It was.
You know my feelings on the NBA.
Yep, I know your feelings.
That actually kept my interest just because